Hi Senan. So we've been working on the establishment of the Decision Support Service, a new state agency particularly focused on addressing human right legislation reform in relation to decision making for people with disabilities in Ireland. So really transformative stuff. Can you talk to me about your role on the project?
Yeah, so people mightn't be aware, but the Decision Support Service was set up to support people who may face difficulty in exercising their decision-making capacity. So it allows people to go on and register arrangements. There will be a supporter in the arrangements, so that could be, a family member, be it a sister, a brother, a cousin, for example, or in certain arrangements it could be a court-appointed person. And there's other functionality included as well. There's things like a register, which is searchable. There's a supervision team which would supervise the decision supporters. We have a complaints entity and a panels entity too, so there's a good bit involved in it. So I joined the project at quite an interesting time in that we were very much preparing for go live. So a lot of the initial work I would have done on it was around the future ways of working for the various teams within the DSS. Obviously this was a completely new system, so we really needed a good foundation for the ways of working so that each team understood how cases were going to be processed throughout the queues. So we would have done a lot of work around queue management, a lot of work around view setup, and we also would have done a lot of work around processing emails, phones, and just getting involved with the DSS and helping them design their SOPs and ensuring that they had captured all the information that they needed. And I think in turn this kind of helped us with a very smooth go live, because kind of the different teams understood how work was going to be processed. And they could adapt their SOPs to suit that. So I think for all of us, this was a very different kind of go live. Typically with a go live, when you're kind of transitioning from one system to another, you'll have kind of a shutdown period. There'll be different cutover activities that need to be done. There's obviously data migration, which can take up some time, but for this, it was completely new. So I suppose for us, that kind of meant that it was harder to gauge really how busy it was going to be in the first week. So I think that kind of we needed to remain quite agile in our approach and just kind of be on standby for any issues so that we can jump in. I think by having that approach, it really kind of led to a very smooth go live for the DSS.
And I suppose one of the other big features of that is it wasn't just looking at one element, we were looking at how it would impact the people within the organisation, their processes and the technologies. I agree with you on the launch. I think it was really inspiring for me to meet people who will be using this service going forward and to hear their stories directly on how important it is for them to have these supports in place. I think if we look at it, there probably isn't a family in Ireland who won't have some sort of engagement with the DSS in their lifetime. And to have a role in that's been really impactful.